What's up, guys? It's me, Insomniacs, back with another video, and yeah, this is gonna be What If Deku Was Blind, Part 3. This is my second most popular series on the channel, other than maybe God Deku. But, yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy, and we are so close to 100 subscribers, and if we can just get to 100 subscribers, I'm going to give you guys something so big, and it's going to be so epic, in my opinion. So I really hope you guys hit the subscribe button and like to get us closer to 100, so you can get that awesome video. Let's get into this. So, where we last left off, Deku had just gotten done with Hero vs. Villain. Oh, and I apologize for my voice change because I have to wear a retainer now. So, yeah, my voice is going to be a little bit weird for like 6 months. So, yeah. So it's the USJ arc now, and Deku is on the bus with the crow sitting on his head. And, yes, his crow is clean. It's not like it's a street crow or anything like that. He cleans it every day. So, yeah, it's in his hair. He has his bandages or the cloth around his eyes to make sure he doesn't see sunlight. And basically, people are asking him questions, and he's answering them. They're like, how did he become blind? And how does the crow thing work? And stuff like that. So, yeah, they get to the USJ, and, Deku's crows, they start to get this weird feeling like something bad is gonna happen. Therefore, Deku gets this weird feeling that something bad is gonna happen. And, when the portal opens in the middle, Deku summons a bunch of crows, and they all surround the people, and people just start looking up the crows, and they start going in genjutsus. Shigaraki and Kurogiri realize that if you look at one of the crows, you're just gonna be out for the count. And, the Nomu doesn't really have a brain, so the illusions don't really work on it. So, basically, Deku, once every, villain other than Shigaraki, Kurogiri, and the Nomu are out for the count, like, they're in illusions, Deku makes, I'm gonna say, about 10 clones, and leaves the rest of the crows to be like a bird's eye view because he can't see. And he just goes down and starts fighting. I don't know if I mentioned this, but Deku, he's been taking martial arts classes, specifically in Taekwondo. No, not Taekwondo, karate, because I do karate, and I need to research Taekwondo in order for me to actually give my characters Taekwondo. So, yeah, he's been working in karate, so he has karate thing. And, Aizawa was down there trying to beat the Nomu while Deku's taking care of Shigaraki. He realizes that Shigaraki has a decay ability, where he's able to make things that he touches turn to dust. So he has to make sure that he doesn't get touched. So, basically, all the crows, except for maybe 2 crow clones, start to surround them, so Deku can't get, like, taken out. And, Shigaraki's trying his best not to look at the crows. And, Deku being able to see every single part of the battlefield right now is winning. And, Shigaraki's losing pretty badly. So, I'd say, Shigaraki gets knocked out. And, Deku, and goes over to help Aizawa. Aizawa is basically getting punched and destroyed by the Nomu. And Deku is basically trying his best to hold off the Nomu. But if Aizawa couldn't do it, then Deku can't do it either. Because other than being able to see through crows and control crows, Deku's just a normal human. So they're basically stalling. And Deku decides to waste a lot of energy making a big crow clone so that the Nomu can't hurt anybody. Because the Nomu's main objective before Shigaraki was knocked out, he said to kill everybody. So the Nomu was trying to kill everybody, but is being held off by there's a giant crow clone. And Ida has already gone to go get All Might. And so yeah, I'm gonna say a good 20 minutes later, All Might burst through the window saying like, I am here. And yeah, him and the Nomu just start fighting, and Deku decides to try and help All Might. And I'm gonna say that instead of, sorry for the background noise, instead of the illusion not completely being able to work on the Nomu, the illusions are able to work on it, but not the way it's supposed to. It's able to stun him for like 2 seconds, and then he's back out, and yeah. So Deku just surrounded them in crows and is just trying to stun the Nomu as many times as he can so that he can help All Might. And it helps. And All Might takes out the Nomu, blasts it off into space. And yeah, Kurogiri sees that this is happening and he basically teleports him and Shigaraki to their base. So, yeah. After that, Deku just decides to go train in karate, and him being able to see karate, him having crows, he's able to learn how to do karate without being there. So he's able to go to several classes in one day and not even have to go to the classes. So that's a thing. And so yeah. So I'm gonna say Deku's on the verge of becoming a black belt because yeah. And so Deku, what time is it? It's the USJ arc now. Yeah. Or not the USJ, the sports festival arc, or sports festival time. So Deku, what time is it? At time. So Deku, he goes to class, and Aizawa comes in with a few bandages, not as much bandage as he was after the USJ arc in canon, but he's bandaged up. And he basically says that the sports festival is coming up and they have to train and get ready because this is their chance to get links to other hero agencies. And yeah, so it's so I forgot who I gave first place. So, I'm just gonna say that Bakugo got first place in the entrance exam. So, Bakugo gives the same speech, and I need to sneeze. Never mind, the sneeze isn't coming. Sorry, I needed to sneeze. So, yeah, Bakugo gives the same speech, and now it's a race. Deku immediately makes a crow clone, and then the crow clone just flings him through the crowd. And he's in first place right now, and he's basically running as fast as he can. And when he gets to the 0-pointer area, he basically gets a giant crow clone, and it destroys one of the 0-pointers, and he just continues running. And when it's the giant parkour thingy, he just makes a giant crow and then just flies over it. And for the minefield, he decides to give himself a challenge. So he runs, and he tries not to get blown up. And like a few explosions happen beside him, and that's it. But Bakugo and Todoroki are like right behind him, and they like catch up, and it's like neck and neck. And then Deku just decides to make 2 crow clones to hold off Bakugo and Todoroki. And yeah, so they're just like fighting a little bit, not a lot. They're just basically blocking the way so that Deku can get a head start. And I'm gonna say that Deku was so close to getting first, but he ended up getting second. And I'm gonna say that Todoroki got first. So that's a thing. So Todoroki has the giant number, and nobody really wants to be on his team. Yeah, he has a good quirk, but he has the highest number. And I'm gonna say Deku walks up to Todoroki and asks if he could be on his team. And Todoroki, realizing that it might be a good idea to have Deku on his team because of his illusion abilities, he says yeah. And I'm gonna say Tokoyami and Ochako walk up and ask if they could be on the team. So yeah, so that's the team. So at the beginning, Todoroki just makes giant ice circle around them, and Deku just puts a bunch of crows outside, or tells the crows to wait outside, and if anybody comes near, put them under a genjutsu and tell them to walk away from the ice ball. And so yeah. And so they don't get touched, their headbands don't get taken away. So yeah. And for simplicity's sake, I'm going to say that everybody else that was in the original tournament is in the original tournament. So, or in the tournament. So first up, it's Deku versus Shinso. And Ojiro basically says that don't answer any of his questions. And Deku says, okay. And basically, when Deku walks on the stage, a bunch of crows fly to his, he lets out his arm, and then like 3 crows land on his arm, and he's like, let's start. So the match starts, and immediately Shinso tries to put him under mind control, and Deku's like, not necessarily answering him, because he didn't necessarily answer the question. He said I could control minds too. I could also make you feel pain. So basically, one crow on his hand makes him shudder, or one crow on his arm makes him shudder. The other crow puts him under genjutsu to make him feel a little pain, him getting beat up for 5 minutes, and then the other crow just mind controls him, and he walks out of the ring because Deku basically beat Shinso at his own game. So so every other match stays the same as Todoroki versus Deku, and Todoroki, knowing that crows can put him under genjutsu, makes sure to try his best not to look at any crows. And Deku, realizing how smart Todoroki is and realizing that he's probably not even going to try to look at him, decides to put a crow on his head, so that if Todoroki tries to look at him, he's going to be put under genjutsu. And so basically they start fighting, and Todoroki can know in general direction where Deku is, but he can't pinpoint accurate. So when he shoots ice, it's basically this giant iceberg. And while Todoroki is focusing on Deku is telling crows to build a giant crow clone because I'm gonna abuse the giant crow clone because it's powerful. So the giant crow clone basically sneaks up on Todoroki the best that it can, and when it gets onto the cement, it basically starts to make giant thuds. And Deku and Todoroki looks over there and sees that it's a giant crow clone, and then he realizes that, and then when he looks at it, the crows disperse, and there's a bunch of crows, and he ends up looking at the crows, and then he's put under genjutsu because and so Deku wins, and matches stay the same. So Ida versus Deku, and Deku just basically, when Ida tries to run up on him, Deku basically just kicks him in the face, and then then the crow on top of his head looks at his eyes, and Ida looks at the crow on accident and gets put under genjutsu that knocks Ida out. And matches stay the same, and now it's Deku versus Bakugo, and basically Bakugo, knowing that if he looks at a crow, he's gonna get put under genjutsu, and Deku, knowing that Bakugo was his childhood bully, he basically decides to try and beat him hand to hand, no cheap tricks with crows. So, no illusions. Deku dashes towards Bakugo, and they start like hand-to-hand fighting. But Bakugo's using his quirk to try and explode Deku. And Deku gets hit a couple times, but it's nothing too serious. And they're just basically, it looks a lot like Kasi versus Obito or Naruto versus Sasuke in the final battle. And it's really, really intense because nobody in the audience knows who's gonna win. Can I help you? Sorry, that was my sister. So yeah. Eventually, Bakugo decides to shoot a giant explosion towards Deku, and it hits Deku straight on, but he created like a wall. Well, it didn't hit Deku straight on, but it hit his arm. And it like scorched his arm, so now his arm really hurts and it's out of commission. So Deku just decides to like put a bunch of crows on him, like a bunch of crows land on him. He's basically doing a T-pose, but a bunch of crows are landed on him, and they all look towards Bakugo. Bakugo looks towards Deku, and an illusion. So, sorry about that. But if you enjoy Good What Ifs, go check out Rogex. Shout out to him. I really enjoy his videos. So, yeah. Deku wins the sports festival. He gets first place. Bakugo, knowing that he lost to Deku makes him mad, but knowing that he lost to Deku in a fair fight, he doesn't get as mad as he did in the canon. So, yeah. That happens. Deku gets first place in the sports festival, and I think that's where I'm gonna leave it off. I need to go script the 100 subscriber special because we're getting really close, and we might get even closer with this video. So please subscribe, like the video, hit the notification bell so you can see the next part of this and the awesome 100 subscriber special. So yeah, later.